name is Michael Rose with United Window and Door, and today we're going to show you how to make a drywall window drywall accessible in 5 easy steps. We are going to use 5 simple tools for this demonstration that we do recommend that your field service team uses in the field. First is a set of safety glasses. Second is a set of safety gloves, preferably anti-cut, since we are going to be handling glass. We want you to be safe on the job site. A screwdriver, a mallet, and lastly, a putty knife. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the bottom sash out of the window. You want to raise the sash up more than 4 inches before you tilt. Once the sash is at 90 degrees, you're simply going to take the sash out of the balance shoe, and we're going to put it to the side. What you're going to do is you're going to simply put the putty knife behind the glazing bead where the glazing bead meets the frame. And as you run up behind the glazing bead, putting a little bit of pressure, that glazing bead should pop right out. Once you have enough of the glazing bead out on the bottom, you're simply going to take it, pull it, and it should come out just like this. You're going to do this on all 4 sides. Okay, so for step 3, we're going to be taking out the glass on our accessible drywall window. I do have safety gloves on, so during this stage you want to make sure that you are wearing safety gloves because we're going to be handling glass. Because the window is dry glazed, this glass should pop right out. With a little pressure on the exterior, that glass will pop out. Again, make sure you're using your safety gloves, and we're going to put the glass to the side. Make sure it's in a safe spot. Another thing I want to mention here are the setting blocks that you see here. The setting blocks are critical to this process. We want to make sure that you do not throw these out. These need to be saved for when we put the glass back in. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to take these setting blocks, we're going to take them out, we're going to leave the ones on the bottom in place. We're not going to take the ones on the bottom out. The ones on the side and the ones on the top, we're going to take out. And we're going to put these to the side. You're going to take your Phillips head and you're simply going to take the screw out. Your first screw, put your first screw to the side. Your second screw. Take it out, put it to the side. Again, you'll notice, again, critical step, keeping those 3 glazing blocks on the bottom. It's critical that those glazing blocks stay in place so that when we go to put the glass in, that glass is going to sit on top of those glazing blocks. After the screws are taken out, that meeting rail clip's going to pop out. You're going to put the meeting rail to the side. So once you have your meeting rail taken out, now your window is fully drywall accessible, as you can see here. When the window needs to be put back together, we basically just need to reverse the process, which we're going to show you right now. So now we're going to take our meeting rail and we're going to put it back in place. Really just lining it up, putting one side in the clip, the other one we're going to nudge in. So we have our screws, we have our Phillips head, you have your meeting rail set in place, you have your holes in the corners lined up. We're simply going to secure the meeting rail back in place. We're now going to put the glass back in. Now there's 2 ways that you can put the glass in. One is you can reinstall the glass on the already existing tape glaze, which is the most common. Just keep in mind that if you do reinstall the glass with the tape glaze, it's only going to meet that PG-35. But now that you have the glass taken out, you have the ability to wet glaze it in to meet a PG-50 should you require that performance. You're simply just going to put silicone over the tape glaze, and then that glass is going to be reinstalled like I'm going to show you now. Line the glass up. Again, critical part of this is making sure that the glass sits on top of the setting blocks on that meeting rail. So you want the glass to sit on top of the setting block, and that glass should push right in very naturally. So now we're going to grab your setting blocks, okay? And you want to put your setting blocks on at least 2 places on the sides of the glass and on the top. You don't need to use all of them, but it's critical And we stress the importance of putting these back in correctly, because this is what's going to absorb the expansion and contraction between the glass and the vinyl. So you want to have these in. We recommend putting one on the bottom and one on the top. What you're simply going to do is you're going to grab your putty knife, you're going to wedge it in between the glass and the frame, and you're going to make room to put your setting block in. Just like that. You're going to do this on all three sides. Now that the glass is reinstalled, whether it be wet glazed or dry glazed, you have your three setting blocks on the bottom, and you have a minimum of 2 setting blocks on the side of the glass and the top. We're now going to put the glazing beads back on to the interior to cover off the edges of the glass. Okay, we're going to start with either the top or the bottom. I'm going to start with the bottom for this demonstration. We're going to line up the glazing bead to the little groove there. We're going to use your mallet to hammer it back in. You want to make sure that your left side is secured first. Then you're going to move over to your right. Work your way back in the middle. We are now going to take the sash sitting on the side, and we're simply going to put it in your pivot bars. We're going to line them up with the balance shoes. I usually start with the left side. Lift the right side up, secure it properly in the other shoe. Tilt up, wait to hear the click, push in, make sure the window operates properly, and lock your window. And there you have it, making a drywall window drywall accessible, reversing the process in 5 easy steps.